Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode. And this episode is shortly after this morning's episode. I did promise that I will come back. I had a meeting at 10 o'clock and we're just having another conversation. Okay, so this conversation is about how to take a break from family court. Now, it's all in your hand. And I'm talking, after God's will, of course, it's in the parents' hands. Okay, parents need to do one thing. They need to communicate. They need to co-parent. They need to lose ground to one another. Okay, and it's this is a strategic retreat. Okay, so you are going to sign a treaty with someone that we are going to cease fire. Okay, we are going. Yes, we are. Who we are, and I know who you are, and you know what I am, and stuff like that. But then, once you become in the middle of this, court cases and stuff like that, you're always going to paint a bad picture of your opponent. You're not going to go in there and say, well, he is a good person and it's just about a matter of time. And yes, court made us come to the realization that we can. No, of course, you're going to, stand your ground. And this is why I said you need to learn to lose ground and you need to give yourself that break. Okay, don't let court give you that break, whether boarding you from applying, for court again. Yeah, again, you can decide not to go to court, full stop, and let your children live away from you, and let your children, live in a fatherless society. Not knowing if you're alive or you're dead, not knowing how you look like, and I mean, it's too extreme, I know, but again, do you want to go to court and sharpen your weapons and prepare for this war? And it is a war that at the end of the day, if it can only be won through communication, through co-parenting. And I don't care what mom thinks of you, I don't care what you think of mom. Okay, you both need to put things behind you, okay, and learn about the responsibility that you've been given by Allah, by God. There are so many brothers and sisters that have been married maybe longer than you, more pious than you, people that give more sadaqah than you, that sacrifice for this community more than you, but still they have not been blessed with children. And yet we are blessed with children, and what do? We weaponize them to prove a point, to distance one another from the children's life. And who wins at the end of the day? Who wins is Shaitan, Satan, and his crew. This crew could be people that are going to groom them tomorrow, that's going to further abuse them, more than the abuse that that's being carried out on them through their parents or one parent. Yes, I'll put my hand up. Yes, I take off my hat. Yes, I salute. Yes, I make dua for every mother, every single mother that's taking care of the children. But does that give you the right to go out and throw, not even accusation, man? It's blatant falsehood. Okay, going to court, shahada, testifying, zur, falsehood. To gain what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us each other in order to worship Him through our wives, through our husbands. You worship Allah through being good to your wife. You worship Allah through providing to your children. You worship Allah through that body that Allah gave you, that brain, that heart. This is how we worship Allah. We don't worship Allah through cutting the ties of kingship, قطع صلة الرحم, alienating one another. And this has to be said. We need to take a break from court. And just to be honest with you, just accept what you get. Yes, it's hard for you to see, you know, children with their mums and their dads, and you not being able to spend time with your children. Yes, it hurts when you go to, Eid in the park and everyone's dressed and groomed with their children, and you don't have your children with you. But it's all for this dunya. It's all a test for you, to purify you, to make you united with your children with less sins, to make you reunited with your children in the hereafter in a higher rank. Okay, oh, he can't provide for the children. Oh, he's not looking after the children. Oh, okay. When you're in Jannah, inshallah, you will have the highest rank of in paradise. If you were sincere in that test, take it as a test. Say, yo, this guy's been tested by being blind. This guy's been tested by being disabled. This guy's been tested by going to jail. Okay, for no reason. This guy's being tested by being poor. This guy's being tested by, being knowledgeable. And what is he going to do with his knowledge? This guy's being tested. This guy's being tested. What are you being tested with, bruv? What are you being tested with? We heard of the Sahaba and the Salaf that if they weren't tested, they would question themselves. Wives used to question their spouse and say, since I've married him, he's never been tested. He's never been sick. He's never, this guy's never in debt. This guy can provide all the time. No, something's wrong with this guy's iman. Something's wrong with his faith, because trials and tribulation is to purify you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might give you everything in this life, but you might not have anything in the hereafter. Wallahi, we need to give each other a break from court. Okay? We need to give each other, the space not to accuse each other, okay? And unfortunately, you have to drag some people to court, okay? And unfortunately, they have to be cornered. And unfortunately, they might end up, losing custody or losing residency. But this is all because you are going to be asked. Allah's going to ask you, what did you do? Oh, Ya Allah, I tried to see my children, but she didn't let me. Did you go to the sheikh? Yes, I did. Did you go to the haddad? Yes, I did. Did you go to court? Yes, I did. So what happened? She came with this fake accusation and X, Y, and Z, and I just had to save my sanity. All this money that's been thrown at me, okay, because of cost or whatever it is, all of these things that, whether it's accusations, application for cost, all of these things, sometimes they are being used to scare you from continuing this process. And this process does not end by you getting a court order that's got few recitals on it. With all my love and respect for this judges and their decisions, but again, and they know it, if people don't want to adhere to it, they can duck and dive and ignore it legally. There's always loopholes. A partner can make it difficult for you to be reunited with your children, especially if that person has got traits of betrayals, khiyana. Okay, and I'm not talking about betrayals in bed. I'm talking about betrayals in aqeedah, betrayal in amana, in responsibility, in creed. When you give residency to a mother, you are entrusting her with these children, let it be legally or Islamically. But what does she do? She uses it against you, because then you have no ground. But you didn't know that. And this is why we've got this channel, because when you give something out of goodwill, you're giving someone a knife. You're thinking he's going to chop the salad. But this person is got reoccurring, behavior of slicing people and killing people and stuff like that. And unfortunately, you will only learn about family law when you breed the wrong person. And I'm saying it, breed the wrong person. These people should not be married. Their fathers and mothers should have worked on them. And if divorce took place, mom and dad and the local imams and the community should really address these matters, okay? Because this is not a joke, okay? This is people's hereafter. This is people's sanity. This is people's rights, Muslim rights. Or even non-Muslims, no one deserves this. But at this moment, we're talking about Muslims in the UK. We came here to safeguard ourselves and children, or our parents brought us here to, because they were fleeing war or they were fleeing some sort of tyrants. So what do? We breed tyrants. What happens? I know someone, when you ask him, wallahi, today about his children, what does he say? He say to him, oh, how is, let's say, Ali and Ahmed, how's your children? He says, may Allah release them. Fakk Allah asrahum. Like if they are imprisoned, somewhere in some secret prison. So again, I'm going to promise you, inshallah, to come back again. This channel is the purpose of it is to educate myself and share some of my reflections, and also to allow people to reach out and say, okay, yes, I'm going through this. We're not alone. And as I mentioned in my first video about In Their Shoes, the campaign that's powered by Islam 21C, where multiple organizations came together during the second lockdown to tackle this ill will and sickening behavior of these so-called parents. Okay, so I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all of us and to reunite us with our children in this life and in the hereafter. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.